First of all, just talk about how crucial it is that the president was able to get this TPA, this Trade Promotion Authority here, the fast track.
Absolutely important that he got this legislation through. The TPA, the Trade Promotion Authority, is imperative for any president if he wants to sign a trade pact. That is because he can go to the Congress, they can vote up and down on a trade pact without any legislative amendments. And for a TPP, which is the next business issue at hand on the trade front, a 12-nation free trade Asia-Pacific pact, it's very important that the president has that latitude to negotiate with these countries without being ham-fisted by Congress. So it's a big victory for the president. It's also a big victory for the Republican leadership in the House of Representatives, led by the Speaker John Boehner, and the Senate, led by the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. But it's also a big victory for US business and engagement in the region.
You know, what about the impact here in Asia? Because, you know, I did speak with the Australian Trade Minister, Andrew Robb, about this a couple months ago, and he said it's very crucial this needs to pass in the U.S. or else we might possibly miss it and have to wait till the next administration, and who knows what's going to happen then. How likely is this really going to pave the way and clear the way for a final deal here?
Well, it helps. Put it this way, if TPA was rejected by the US Congress, it would probably doom the TPP. So the fact that the president has this ability now to negotiate with the 11 other countries in the TPP improves the prospects of its being passed. But, you know, still there are a lot of hurdles. The Congress has to support it. There are great debates right now in the Japanese government whether they really want to implement the kind of structural reforms to the automobile sector, agriculture sector that is imperative in order for Japan to be part of the TPP. Other countries face similar dilemmas. But look, this is a good thing for the region, Yvonne, for two reasons. One, it opens up markets, helps boost jobs and wealth creation, particularly for countries like Vietnam that are only in recent years starting to make the process towards capitalism. And moreover, it helps reinforce the idea that America, not China, but America is the principal rule setter in the region, not just on open trade, but on cyber security, intellectual property, environmental protection, and the lot. This reaffirms American regional leadership, and again, it opens the way for a comprehensive free trade agreement in the region, conceivably within the next 12 to 18 months.
I mean, how big of a stake is it, you know, or how much does this really impact China, I would have to say, because this was kind of, this TPP was known as the crown jewel for President Barack Obama for his foreign policy pivot, to rebalance his shift to Asia a little bit more. And we know we also got some more headlines about this U.S.-China bilateral investment treaty as well. I mean, what does this mean for China here?
Well, at this stage, China, along with South Korea, are not part of the TPP, but the opportunity to be part of the TPP is still available. But it depends a lot on whether China and South Korea, for that matter, will make the relevant structural reforms. But look, make no mistake, if the Congress had repudiated the president on the TPA, and let's remember, most of his party, most of the Democrats, wanted to torpedo the legislation because they're backed by a lot of the labour unions who believe that free trade hurts manufacturing, depresses wages, kills jobs and whatnot. But if the Congress did repudiate the TPA, which would have doomed the TPP, this would have been a great news story in China because it would set the scene for American potentially regional disengagement. And many commentators during the course of the last few months have said if the TPA was rejected by the Congress, it would be analogous to the US Senate's decision to block President Woodrow Wilson's commitment of the United States to the League of Nations a century ago, that in many respects helped set the scene for World War II, showed signs that America was disengaging from the world then, and this was going to be similar. So this is a big victory for America and regional leadership, and it comes on top of really rather clumsy diplomacy from Washington in trying to discourage many of America's allies in the region from joining China's Asian Infrastructure Bank. That was a big mistake in Washington. I think it's widely regarded as a big mistake. And so China would have seen a TPA repudiation as reaffirming its claim to regional leadership.